the level of attack is frightening because clearly we are seeing signs that are more than cattle rustling. These bandits are well organized, well prepared, and heavily armed.
Tonight, President Buhari summons Katsina governor over recent killings in the state, orders security agencies to fish out perpetrators.
Council has approved the recommendation of Mohammed Adamu as the Inspector General of Police.
Nigeria Police Council confirms appointment of Inspector General of Police. Election Tribunal strikes out Hope Democratic Party motion to stop presidential inauguration.
The primary consideration of NTA in acquiring the rights, to transmit the 32nd edition of the Africa Cup of Nations.
And NTA signs MOU with Hot Sports to bring forthcoming 2019 Africa Cup of Nations to the doorsteps of Nigerians. Good evening. Thanks for joining us on NTA Network News. I'm Cyril Stober in Abuja, and also on tonight is Hingino John Adams in Lagos. President Muhammadu Buhari has vowed to do whatever it takes towards bringing to an end the wanton killings in some parts of the country with a view to restoring lasting peace and stability in the polity. The president, who summoned Governor Aminu Bello Masari of Katsina over the recent killings in the state by unknown gunmen, directed security agencies to not only fish out the perpetrators, but ensure that they are brought to justice. At the strategic meeting with the governor behind closed doors, President Buhari called for calm as government takes decisive measures on the prevailing security challenges. Governor Masari told correspondent Adamu Sambo that the meeting with the president, which lasted about an hour, was fruitful and reassuring.
The security situation is really very bad, and certainly the rate is going to affect farming activities in those local government areas. And in fact, the level of attack is frightening because clearly we are seeing signs that are more than cattle rustling. These bandits are well organized, well prepared, and heavily armed. And they know where and how to strike. So this is what I believe the president, and the president has promised to take very urgent action to really curb this menace of this banditry.
So what assurance can you give the people of Katsina State having met the president?
Well, I think my assurance that they should understand also the feelings of Mr. President. He is with them. He feels the pains of not only losing lives of people, but destabilizing the entire social structure of the people. He is with them. He sympathizes with them, and definitely he's going to act. I'm happy that he has responded very well to what I have told him, and the little effort we are doing at state level, and they promise that by next week we will start to see some actions.
Already, the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, and Chief of Defense Staff, General Abayomi Olonishakin, are under instruction to constitute an assessment team to intervene immediately in the state. The Nigeria Police Council has formally confirmed the appointment of Muhammad Abubakar Adamu as Substantive Inspector General of Police. Governor Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State announced this while briefing newsmen after the meeting of the council presided over by President Muhammad Buhari. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
The council has approved the recommendation of Mohammed Adamu as the Inspector General of Police. So congratulations. Thank you.
With this pronouncement by President Muhammadu Buhari, Acting Inspector General of Police Muhammad Adamu is now confirmed as Nigeria's substantive police chief. To arrive at this decision, however, the Nigeria Police Council, comprising the President as chairman, with governors and chairman of the Police Service Commission as members, had critically analyzed the records of the appointee and also assessed his performance so far since his appointment in acting capacity on the 15th of January this year. Muhammad Adamu was also invited to brief the council on the prevailing security challenges and the strategies being put in place towards addressing the situation. Briefing newsmen after the meeting, which continued behind closed doors for about 1 hour, Governor Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State said members were convinced beyond reasonable doubt that President Muhammadu Buhari has made the right choice.
All across the country, we're dealing with banditry, robbery, kidnapping, and a host of challenges. But with the analysis and the quick response that he has given so far, we know that as an individual and as a leader of the force, he is more than well qualified, and all members of council attested to this.
And the president, consistent with his approach to governance, choosing the very best for the job, he has made a choice of you. I want to commend you for all the qualities that have made it possible for you to be confirmed as an Inspector General of Police, and the whole country looks forward to seeing you perform. I believe that your international exposure is very critical at this juncture, and I'm happy that we have your like as the Inspector General of Police. We look forward to a changed Nigeria. We look forward to a Nigerian police that have the respect of the international community, and I know you will command so.
What it means for us is that we've been given a tough task to make sure that we provide security within the country and make the country crime-free, which means we have to redouble our efforts. Whatever strategy we put in place, we have to look at it and re-strategize day in, day out to make sure that the insecurity in the country is brought down to the barest minimum.
Beyond the personal excellence and commitment of the new IGP, the council members resolved to give the necessary support, cooperation, and understanding towards ensuring that Nigeria not only becomes tough on crime, but also tough on the causes of crime. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Within the 4-year tenure of the National Economic Council, it was able to make 173 far-reaching resolutions towards achieving robust national economic policies. At the valedictory session, the chairman of the council and vice president Yemi Osinbajo expressed gratitude for the commitment of the members for their uncommon hard work and dedication towards steering the affairs of the country. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
Since the inauguration of the National Economic Council in 2015, with focal objective of setting agenda of providing administrative requisite of tackling insecurity and youth unemployment through the revival of agriculture, solid minerals, as well as small and medium enterprises, and tackling corruption of the Buhari administration, among others, NEC within the period held 38 meetings with far-reaching recommendations towards nation building. While commending the outgoing NEC members for their team spirit towards shouldering the responsibilities reposed in them by millions of Nigerians, the Vice President expressed the need for the incoming members to emulate the same spirit for accelerated national development.
We must, as leaders, we have a duty to keep the peace and welfare of our state. We must not only rise above the temptation to take advantage of our country's fault lines, but we must openly condemn and restrain those who do so. We must openly condemn them. We must insist that this country truly belongs to all of us, especially those who cannot defend themselves.
With the daunting challenges of the nation's economy at the beginning of this administration in 2015, particularly the economic recession, instability of exchange rates, coupled with the inability of some of the state governors to pay salaries of workers, members of the council, especially the governor of the Zamfara State, Abdul Aziz Yari, and the chairman Governors Forum expressed gratitude for the quick intervention of President Muhammadu Buhari, which led to the clearing of the backlog. They promised to continue to work hard in that capacity for the betterment of the people and the nation, irrespective of party affiliation, religious or ethnic differences.
So, Mr. Chairman, on behalf of my colleagues, we really appreciate the way you run the affairs of this council, and we hope, Mr. Chairman, you will keep it up.
Without actually looking whether somebody was PDP or APC, what was a common objective was more about the economic issues that pervaded the whole country, considering the fact that we all came in at a time where there were so much backlog of salaries.
All my colleagues, especially the outgoing ones, we've been very, very, we have contributed a lot to what we have today as Nigeria.
I think one of the lessons that we should learn from the last 4 years of experience is to have a team that will ensure closure and implementation of these resolutions. We've done very well in debating and articulating policies.
In this council, Mr. VP, I want to state here that we've never had any cause to be known by our party lines, never. You provided us quality leadership, freedom of expression, and I also learned a lot from you, that as a leader you must have a large heart.
I want you to stand with one another, to stand by one another, to stand for the Nigerian nation.
The new council is expected to be inaugurated after May 2019 presidential inauguration. From the State House, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
The Presidential Election Petition Tribunal has struck out the application of Hope Democratic Party seeking to stop the inauguration of President Muhammadu Buhari pending the determination of its petition. Femi Okewu has the report.
Delivering the ruling on the application, the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal said it was striking out the motion for lack of merit. It said the inauguration was a constitutional requirement which could not be hampered on the altar of litigation. The Hope Democratic Party, one of the two parties contesting the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari, had made an application to the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal to stop the inauguration of the president, pending the determination of its petition before it. In Abuja, Femi Okewu, NTA News.
More judicial news now. The prosecution team in the ongoing trial of former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babachir David Lawal, has opened its case by calling its first witness the head of Finance Presidential Committee on Northeast Initiative. Babachir David Lawal is standing trial on a 10-count charge by the EFCC for allegedly securing contracts worth hundreds of millions of naira without executing them. The witness sought to tender evidence before the court, which is the payment voucher made to Roller Vision, a company standing trial along with the former SGF as the fifth defendant. Counsel to the company objected to the tendering of the document on the grounds that the said document did not meet the provisions of Section 104 of the Evidence Act, since the document is not certified. After taking arguments from both parties, Justice Jude Okeke adjourned the case to the 17th and 18th of June for ruling and continuation of the trial.
They have different strategies. When you think, well, at this stage, so we can have the case progress speedily, you can reserve your objection till later in the day. That is, at the end of all the evidence, you can still raise this issue, which he raised now, which caused this adjournment.
And the Federal High Court in Lagos has convicted two former staff of Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA. Correspondent Vera Chimuba also reports that the trial of a former judge of the Federal High Court, Rita Ofili Ajimogobia, has commenced.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission had arraigned Callistus Obi, the former acting director general of the NIMASA, and Alud Dimas, a former personal assistant to Patrick Akpoblo-Kemi, on an 8-count charge of conspiracy, conversion, and money laundering in 2016. They were convicted of conversion and money laundering to the tune of 139 million naira belonging to NIMASA. Justice Judicial Olateregu has ordered that the convicts be remanded in prison custody while she has fixed the 28th of May for sentencing. Meanwhile, the court has also fixed the 31st of May for hearing of a motion filed by the former judge of the Federal High Court, Mrs. Rita Ofilia-Jumogobia. She is challenging her trial on the grounds that a court of competent jurisdiction has taken a decision on the suit. In Lagos, Viera Chumuba, NTA News.
The federal government has denied reports of threats to Nigeria's foreign assets based on a judgment of an arbitral tribunal. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, stated this in Abuja while reacting to claims in the online media that Nigeria was in default of a judgment. Femi Okewu has the details.
On the 31st of January 2017, the Arbitral Tribunal in the United Kingdom and the United States rendered a final award against the Ministry of Petroleum Resources based on a dispute which has been on for about 20 years now between the federal government and a foreign petroleum company known as P&ID. But Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami said in spite of this, it is not true that Nigeria's assets abroad were under threat. He said this is because every process has been put in place to challenge the award.
P&ID never began the construction of the project in contention, although it alleges it incurred about $40 million in preliminary expenses. In view of the huge arbitration award, the current administration took positive steps in challenging the award. Thus, the federal government is duly represented in the proceedings in the United States and the UK by the foreign law firm.
The Attorney General of the Federation called on the Nigerian people to therefore ignore the alarmist claims that Nigeria's assets in the United Kingdom could be seized.
There is no threat whatsoever as far as execution against the assets of the federal government is concerned. And this is a matter, as stated earlier, that has been on even before this administration came into place, and we have been successfully conducting these matters and then having the interests of the federal government adequately protected by way of ensuring that nothing adverse happens to the assets of the federal government in terms of the execution of the judgment at hand.
Just as the Solicitor General of the Federation, Dayo Apata, assured that the Federal Ministry of Justice were following up on challenging the arbitral award. In Abuja, Femi Okewu, NTA News.
Now to the news now. The robust rewards and recognition system proposal for public and civil servants by the federal government has been ratified and validated. This was at the Stakeholders Engagement Forum of the scheme. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday has the details.
These documents represent the decisions taken at the stakeholders.
The ratification and validation followed actions taken on the proposal of the scheme at their previous meetings.
The A's have it.
Permanent Secretary Service Welfare, Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Didi Wilson Jack, affirmed that the scheme is to further support the performance management system.
A credible rewards and recognition program that will stand the test of time. We are the determinants of the ratings and credibility of our own system in a society where awards and recognitions have been watered down.
When rewards and recognitions are institutionalized, the civil servants will put out their best.
Other participants had the same line of thoughts that the scheme will enhance better service delivery to Nigerians.
Motivation does play a very essential role in employee productivity, as motivated employees always go an extra mile to give the best results and will make sure their tasks are completed.
And we will do everything possible to ensure that it's not only sustained, but it's also successful.
It was an opportunity to present to the public second edition of the Service Welfare Newsletter. November every year has been scheduled for the award ceremony, subject to the approval of the Federal Executive Council. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday, NTA News.
It's time to take a break now. More reports just ahead.
The clock is ticking. It's the signal for the inauguration of the 16th President of Nigeria and 5th President in the 4th Nigerian Republic.
Nigerians are set to mark the beginning of the second term of Muhammadu Buhari as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The first term saw the most massive critical infrastructural development, agricultural revolution, war against corruption, tackling insecurity, and unprecedented social investment programs. Our opportunity to keep moving our country on the path to a prosperous future. It's the next level for the Nigerian people. This is our time as Nigerians. Come, let us celebrate the next level with Muhammadu Buhari, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Date, Wednesday, 29th May 2019. Venue, Eagle Square, Abuja. Time, 8 a.m. prompt. Roll out the drums. Come, let's celebrate.
Announcer Boss Gida Mustafa, Secretary to Government of the Federation and Chairman 2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee.
There comes a time when the journey in life takes you far away from the familiar.
No signal? Fix it. Auntie, I don't finish. Wow. Make me take picture for Instagram. Don't you mean Instagram? Instagram, Hingram. Now you know name. Now me get network where they work for this long road. Come the yellow side, make yourself for free enjoy overshot data.
Anywhere, anytime, data makes life better. Now you can get 1 gigabyte at 200 naira. The binge all day on Instagram just for you. Dial *406# to enjoy.
The Subcommittee on First Ladies' Activities for Presidential Inauguration hereby announces the programs for May 29, 2019 Presidential Inauguration. Interactive session of women with the First Lady. Date, Saturday 25th May 2019. Venue, State House, Abuja. Time, 2 p.m. prompt. Children's Day Party. Date, 27th May 2019. Venue, State House, Abuja. Time, 1 p.m. prompt. Admission to these events is strictly by invitation.
This event is part of activities lined up for the Presidential Inauguration and Democracy Day Celebration 2019.
Hajia Miriam A.D. Rufai, Secretary, Committee on First Ladies' Activities for Presidential Inauguration 2019. Announcer.
The 2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee invites the general public to the special Jumat prayers to mark the beginning of the second term of Muhammadu Buhari as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, scheduled to hold as follows. Date, Friday, 24th May 2019. Venue, National Mosque, Abuja. Activities include Quranic recitation, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., public lecture, 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Guest speaker, Dr. Bashir Ali Umar, Imam Al-Furqan Mosque, Kano. Topic, Harnessing Our Diversity for Peaceful Coexistence and National Security. Special Jumat prayer, 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Venue, National Mosque, Abuja. Prayer to be led by Professor Shehu Hamad Saeed Galadanchi, the Murshid of the National Mosque, Abuja. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria.
This event is part of activities lined up for the Presidential Inauguration and Democracy Day Celebration 2019.
Announcer, Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman, 2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee.
The Nasarawa Emirate Council in Nasarawa Local Government Area of Nasarawa State invites all to the coronation and presentation of first-class staff of office to His Royal Highness Alhaji Ibrahim Usman Jibril, Emir of Nasarawa and President, Nasarawa Emirate Council. The occasion, which will be performed by His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Nasarawa State, Alhaji Umaru Tanko Al-Makura, will take place at the Al Sports Complex, Federal Polytechnic Nasarawa on Saturday, 25th May 2019 at 10 a.m. Honorable Dr. Idris Mohammed Loko, Secretary, Nasarawa Emirate Council and Chairman Publicity and Protocol Committee, announcer. It's Ramadan. It's okay to share what you love. Ramadan Kareem from Indomie. Indomie Super Pack now available at 85 Naira.
The Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, in collaboration with Industrial Training Fund, ITF, cordially invites stakeholders in agriculture, construction, transport and services sector to a one-day stakeholders meeting on strategies for job creation. A meeting which will consider the ITF report on job creation will be chaired by the special guest, His Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Okechukwu Enelama. The Minister of State, Industry, Trade and Investment, Hajia Aisha Abubakar, will be the guest of honor, while Sir Joseph Ari, Director General and Chief Executive of ITF, will be the chief host. Date, Monday, 27th May 2019. Venue, Rockview Hotel, Wusetu, Abuja. Time, 10 a.m. All invited guests are to be seated by 9:30 a.m. ITF Management, announcer.
Thanks for staying with us. Nigeria's diversity will remain a source of strength for the development of the country. President Muhammadu Buhari stated this while exchanging views with two new ambassadors posted to Nigeria. State House correspondent Adam Musambu reports.
The new envoys who are in the State House to present their letters of credence were the ambassador of Israel to Nigeria, Mr. Shimon Ben Shasson, as well as the Sierra Leonean ambassador, Dr. Solomon Gembe. Exchanging views with the Israeli ambassador, President Buhari said with Nigeria and Israel enjoying cordial bilateral relations, many Nigerian Christians look forward to visiting the country on holy pilgrimage. The president congratulated the envoy on his appointment and wished him a successful tour of duty in Nigeria. He, however, advised him to take time to go around and see the beauty and diversity of the country. Ambassador Shimon Ben Shasson congratulated President Buhari on his re-election and thanked the Nigerian government for extending an invitation to Israeli Prime Minister to attend the Democracy Day celebrations on June 12 this year. He said the last time Israeli Prime Minister visited Nigeria in the last 60 years of diplomatic relations between the two countries was in 1958. As he puts it, "My dream is to bring my Prime Minister and President to visit Nigeria and for President Muhammadu Buhari to visit Israel. That will be historic for us." Receiving the Israeli High Commissioner to Nigeria, Dr. Solomon Gembe, President Buhari said Nigeria and Sierra Leone have a strong and stable relationship born out of shared history and decades of cooperation. The president said he looks forward to continue working with President Julius Maada Bio to further strengthen the relations, emphasizing that both of them shared a common historical background as former military heads of state who later became civilian president. The president lauded the resilience of the Sierra Leonean people in overcoming the tragedy of the 2017 mudslide in the West African country. The Sierra Leonean High Commissioner thanked Nigeria for its steadfast brotherly support to his country, saying during ECOMOG, Nigerian soldiers bled and died for them. Nigeria, he also said, was there for the people of Sierra Leone during the Ebola crisis as well as the mudslide as a big brother. Dr. Gembe extended President Maada Bio's good wishes to President Buhari on his re-election for a second term in office and promised to attend celebrations marking the June 12 Democracy Day in Abuja. Both the Israeli and Sierra Leonean envoys were earlier given a befitting diplomatic welcome by the Presidential Guards Brigade on arrival at Nigeria's seat of government. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
And more news coming from the State House now. President Buhari says he cannot thank Nigerians enough for sustaining their trust and confidence in his leadership over the years. This was while hosting some youth groups, artists, artisans, and internally displaced persons to the breaking of the Ramadan fast. The president assured the people that under his watch, natural resources will continue to be jealously guarded and effectively utilized towards enhancing their welfare and well-being, as well as guaranteeing a sustainable future for the country. But to achieve this, President Buhari said Nigerians must bury their differences and demonstrate a high sense of love and respect for the country.
I very much appreciate your love and concern and your steadfastness in supporting me through and through. Don't give up. Nigerians accepted this system.
I think this is the first official youth dinner since after the historic defeat of the fifth columnists, of the people who thought that they owned this country, of the people that thought that this country was an estate and they would carve it the way they wanted. And then the president tilts the balance of the political history of this country. Please let us give him a standing ovation.
During the event, the president personally served meals to his guests, especially the physically challenged. And President Buhari has congratulated Governor Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State on his emergence as the chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum. A statement by the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, says President Buhari expressed delight that Dr. Fayemi's choice was by consensus, indicating the degree of confidence reposed in him by his colleagues. While wishing Governor Fayemi a successful tenure, the president commended his immediate predecessor, Governor Abdulaziz Iyari of Zamfara State, for his leadership style as chairman of the forum. And similarly, the National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress has congratulated the governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, on his election as the new chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum. The party, in a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Lanre Isaunilu, described NGF's unanimous election of Governor Fayemi to lead the forum till 2021 as the right choice, judging by his proven record of progressive leadership and experience as a development expert, minister, and governor, among other endeavors. And in another development, Governor Henry Seriake Dixon of Bayelsa State has been elected chairman of the PDP Governors Forum. He succeeds Governor Ibrahim Dankwambu of Gombe State, whose tenure expires by the end of the month. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The PDP governors met behind closed door at the Gombe Governor's Lodge in Abuja with a two-point communique electing Governor Henry Seriake Dixon as his new chairman, raising concerns about the state of the nation.
This is the first meeting we are having after elections. Congratulated ourselves from the battles that we have won and lost in the last election, and appeal to our members to continue to be good party men and good leaders as they were elected by our people. We have also touched and discussed issues of security, but the most important thing that we have done today too is to elect a new chairman of the PDP Governors Forum in the person of Governor of Bayelsa State, Right Honorable Dixon.
The President of the Senate, Dr. Bukola Saraki, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, and the National Chairman of the PDP, Uche Secondus, also attended the forum's meeting. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
The attention of the 7 APC chairmen in Kwara South Senatorial Zone has been drawn to a press release issued on the 22nd of May by some elders parading and claiming to be speaking for Kwara South APC elders, asking President Muhammadu Buhari not to reappoint Alhaji Lai Mohammed for a second term as minister. Activities of this group, they said, should be disregarded in their entirety and whatever they stand for. This was contained in a statement signed by the 7 local government party chairmen, saying that the signatories of the said release, Chief J.B. Ayeni and one Jide Usman, are not speaking for Kwara South, let alone their local government areas. Let's now go over to our Lagos Center and link up with Hingino for more reports. Hingino.
Thank you, Cyril, and welcome to the Center of Excellence. The persistent gridlock experienced along Apapa Road will soon disappear. This follows a presidential directive for all trucks and containers to vacate the roads in 72 hours. Dotun Oguyemi visited the area and reports that while some trucks have begun moving into the parks, most of them still littered the roads on the port corridor.
The Apapa gridlock is one that has defied solutions, from the task force to other government interventions at the state and federal level. The story remains the same. The latest intervention is a presidential directive seeking to clear this gridlock in 72 hours.
This is Costain, one of the major roads leading to the Apapa port, and it's just a few hours into the presidential directive.
This is the Lily Pond Transit Truck Park with the capacity to take 4,000 trucks. Some trucks have been moved here, but there are issues of alleged extortion and delay, which these drivers are vehemently protesting.
We are told that all our trucks should come to Lily Pond Terminal. Almost 4 or 5 weeks now, they cannot be able to go out.
MPA will give us pass, Navy will turn us back.
Critical stakeholders have, however, met on how to implement the presidential directive and resolve all issues.
And it's not only Lily Pond, we'll still have another one in Tinkan, which I'm sure will be in full operation in the next couple of days.
Given by the president, it is possible, it is doable.
We have warned them right now, give them a stern warning, that anybody that wants to frustrate it, the law will take its full effect.
53 truck parks have been identified by the Nigerian Port Authority across Lagos to house the thousands of tankers and containers that have refused to leave the roads and bridges. For more than 7 years, Lagosians have had to contend with the menace of trucks on the highways. In Lagos, Dotun Oguyemi, NTA News.
The emerging digital economy in Nigeria requires a revolution in the telecommunications industry for greater performance and viability. Experts at a one-day leadership summit organized by the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, in Lagos are advocating more support from the government and broader rules for the commission. Paul Omukago tells us more.
Seated in this hall are telecommunications industry players and investors. They want a holistic approach in tackling lingering challenges inhibiting digitally driven socio-economic development in the country. Recognizing telecommunications and information technology as key enablers of economic growth, the Vice President, represented by Special Advisor on Political Matters, Babafemi Ujodu, reassured investors of government's commitment to addressing challenges in the sector.
The government will continue to impress it on them that they should continue to meet the need of Nigerians in the area of telecommunications.
As we continue to work with NCC and other stakeholders, will eventually sort this issue that some taxpayers continue to complain about excessive charges with no documentations. And I think it's a slow but certainly a process that will be soon resolved.
Executive Vice Chairman of NCC, Professor Maru Garba Dampata, described the summit as an avenue to equip the Commission and relevant agencies, as well as the entire industry, to focus on effective performance.
We have a plan to deploy infrastructure into even the rural areas. In a case of point here, the plan we have for deployment of broadband infrastructure.
The target for the end of last year was 30% penetration. We've now, as I'm talking, about 33%.
The summits with the team, repositioning Nigerian telecommunications industry for the future, prospects and challenges also examined the way forward on right-of-way challenges at the state level. In Lagos, Paul Umukago, NTA News.
This is NTA Network News. More reports after this commercial break. Please stay with us.
In all the cities and all the streets, in all the places where people meet, from Niger to yonder, got you talking. You are the one that's fighting to keep you talking. Yeah! We got people talking. We got people talking. We've got people talking. Listen from east to the west to the south. Everywhere they come by, they know me mouth.
With 5 times bonus to call all networks on every recharge, we get you talking.
Keep talking.
Glow Unlimited.
The 2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee invites the general public to the interdenominational church service to mark the beginning of the second term of Muhammadu Buhari as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, scheduled to hold as follows. Dates: Sunday 26 May 2019. Venue: National Christian Center, Central Business District, Abuja. Time: 2:30 p.m. prompt. Theme: Setting the nation on higher levels of peace and development in the fear of God. Habakkuk 3:19. Speaker: Archbishop Augustine Akubeze, President, Catholic Bishops Conference. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria.
This event is part of activities lined up for the Presidential Inauguration and Democracy Day Celebration 2019.
Announcer: Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman, 2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee.
Munch it, what a tasty, crunchy feeling. Munch it, gotta munch it every day. Munch it, just give me the super snack. Munch it, oh irresistible. Munch it, makes me wanna say one munch, two munch, non-stop munch. Munch it is here, irresistible. One munch, two munch, non-stop munch.
Try a pack of Munch It snack at 50 Naira.
From our wonderful family, meet Patty for celebrating the high points of life with friends. And then there's me, Jolly, bringing nourishment to every gathering. Packed with healthy nutrition, nourishing vitamins, power of protein, strength of calcium, revitalizing energy, Hollandia yogurt is bursting with goodness inside and out. Hollandia yogurt, it's all good.
Hollandia. When I was a little girl, I loved spending time with Mum and Grandma cleaning the house. I was so excited to sing in the choir. And your shirts are always so white. I knew what Mum's secret was. Today, I'm a modern woman that still trusts the secrets passed down to me. It's Jik, of course. The original trusted bleach, which can be used all around your house for amazing results. Shh, it's our little secret. It's no secret. It's Jik's best ever extra whitening power. Just Jik it.
It's Ramadan. It's okay to share what you love. Ramadan Kareem from Indomie. Indomie Super Pack now available at 85 Naira.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
We're back in Abuja. Now, the Senate has passed the bill that seeks to establish the National Road Fund Bill. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports that the bill, when signed into law, would provide a predictable and sustainable source of funding for road maintenance in Nigeria.
Thursday's plenary can best be described as a day in the Committee of the Whole, as the legislators spent the most part of their time considering reports on bills. Prominent among these is the National Road Fund Bill. Chairman, Senate Committee on Works, presented a conference report.
This bill seeks to establish the National Road Fund, which is a repository of revenues occurring from road users, related charges and other sources of financing, which shall be managed and administered for the periodic and routine maintenance of works on roads and related matters.
The report on National Road Fund's establishment, Executive Bill 2090, say aye. Those against say nay, the ayes have it.
7 bills from the House of Representatives received concurrence by the Senate. These include a bill that seeks to establish the Federal Capital Territory Directorate of Road Traffic Administration Service,
to be saddled with the responsibility of road traffic management and motor vehicle administration services within the Federal Capital Territory.
Bills for the establishment of Schools of Mines and Geological Studies, Adamawa State, Federal College of Education, Bayelsa, Federal University of Aquatic Studies, Anambra, and Federal University of Oga were passed as presented by Chairman, Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TED Fund, Senator Barau Jibrin.
The committee wishes to express profound gratitude to the entire Senate for its usual support. Mr. President, I just submit.
The City University of Technology, Yaba, Lagos, and Federal Polytechnic, Ibejuleki, Lagos State establishment bills, sponsored by Senator Lubrenga Ashafa, and that of the Federal College of Education, Technical, Korinya, Benue State, sponsored by Senator Barnabas Gimade, were passed for second reading. The legislators effected corrections and reconsidered 3 bills that were denied assent by the President. These include the Petroleum Industry Governance Bill and the Companies and Allied Matters Act Amendment Bill. The Senate received the 2019 Appropriation Bill of the Federal Capital Territory from the National Assembly. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Still in the legislature, the House of Representatives has passed the Money Laundering Repeal and Reenactment Bill. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that the bill was among 9 passed at Thursday's plenary.
The Money Laundering Repeal and Reenactment Bill aims at enhancing and strengthening the anti-graft war by introducing measures that will further prevent and prohibit acts of money laundering in Nigeria. The lawmakers also passed at second reading a bill for an act to repeal the National Commission for Colleges of Education Act and establish the National Commission for Teacher Education, which was forwarded from the Senate for concurrence.
This bill seeks to reposition the Teachers Commission Education for the purpose of effectively discharging its statutory mandate of training teachers that will be qualified enough
so that the inadequacies in the teachers' education of what we have in the commission will be addressed and have one. Hey, that's a good development for this nation.
A bill to establish Chartered Institute of Forensic and Investigative Professionals of Nigeria was also passed. Meanwhile, the House, at Committee of the Whole, approved the recommendations of House Committee on Gas Resources that investigated a joint venture contract of NNPC and Chevron was $1 million awarded to Diacrino Services Limited, which the House discovered was not a legal entity as confirmed from the Corporate Affairs Commission. Tuesday's plenary also approved Niger State government's external borrowing plan of $266 million
under the 2016 to 2018 external borrowing rolling plan.
In another developments, the Speaker, Yakubu Dogara, organized iftar for lawmakers from across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country in the spirit of Ramadan. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
The pet project of the wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, Future Assured, has pledged to continue to support the ideals of promoting the lives of the less privileged in the society. Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari made this assertion at a groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of 50 boreholes and 10 mosques in some communities in Adamawa State. Yusuf Jika reports.
Future Assured program of the wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has been impacting positively on the lives of the poor, particularly in the areas of medical support, education, reproductive health, and empowerment. As it is, this gathering is not an exception, as it's geared towards providing the people with potable water and befitting places of worship. Dr. Mahmoud Sani, who represented the founder, Future Assured, Aisha Muhammad Buhari, said the wife of the president is always concerned and ready to partner with like minds in reaching out to the poor, particularly in rural areas.
It's the relationship between two organizations that are aimed at giving succor to the needy, giving succor to the downtrodden, giving succor to the vulnerable. So they find it easy to cooperate and work together.
The director of Qatar Foundation, Hamid Faiz, and facilitator of the program, Mahmoud Halilu, said the project is basically to add value to the lives of the rural dwellers for a better society.
We brought some charity work back home to our rural communities to better their lives.
Inshallah, we'll did in Yola 10 mosques and 50 boreholes. This is the beginning, inshallah, and will continue.
High point of the event were the groundbreaking ceremony of the projects and the sharing of food items to less privileged in the spirit of Ramadan. In Yola, Yusuf Jika, NTN News.
Nigeria is to send a 120-man contingent to participate in this year's Royal Edinburgh Military Tattoo, slated for August. This was disclosed by the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Grace Isugepe, when Brigadier David Alfrey, the Chief Executive Producer of the Royal Edinburgh, visited her in Abuja. Anthony Folsom reports.
General David Alfrey, who is in Nigeria to assess the level of the country's preparedness ahead of the event, was told that the Nigerian contingent will comprise 70 military personnel and 50 civilians. The Permanent Secretary, Deaconess Grace Isugepe, assured the Visiting General that the Nigerian contingent will thrill their audience at the event. Looking forward to an exciting moment with the Nigerian contingent, General Alfrey expressed satisfaction with the brief he has received from the Permanent Secretary. It will be recalled that Nigeria and British Council had signed an MOU in 2016 to further boost development of the sector. Arising from the briefing, General Alfrey, in company of the British Defence Attaché to Nigeria, were received at the Lungi Barracks, where a demonstration was put up as a teaser ahead of what to expect in Edinburgh. From infinity to cross formation, marriage and entertainment, farmers dance and strength in diversity.
Now the men are going to cut and harvest the crop they planted.
War formation and resilience.
We'll march under the sweats, showcasing the uniqueness of the marriage. In a wave-like manner, this deserves another sounding round of applause.
Today, I found a gold mine. I did not know what I would find when I came here to Nigeria. I have just watched 2 extraordinary hours of military music, of silent drill, and of cultural dance. Quite exceptional in all senses. The discipline of the guards, their silent drill, exceptional, particularly on a warm, sunny Abuja afternoon. 35 degrees, very hot for people from Scotland.
By the time we are done with all our preparations and planning, it's going to be a very fantastic outing. So I expect a very beautiful and brilliant display in Edinburgh.
We took just a few days to put this together. So you can imagine between now and August, or rather July ending, what this performance will turn out to. We have not finished, just a bit of it that we showed today.
This year's Edinburgh Royal Military Tattoo has as its theme Kaleidoscope. Nigeria's color scheme for the performance is yellow. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
We'll take another quick break now. Stay with us. Some sports now. The Nigerian Television Authority is in top gear to broadcast